what's up? I guess we're gonna do something a little different this time around. I get nobody watches these videos, but I'm just talking to myself really at this point. Um, we're gonna do something a little different. Instead, we're gonna just react to some YouTube videos and see how that goes. Yeah, we're gonna react to some YouTube videos and see what that gets us on here. Um, we're going to watch stuff on like I'm gonna actually hold up. Let me go up to this channel. We're gonna pull it up here. We're going to be watching.
Dead Rising was one of
Oh,
the
I
early.
did not mean to play that. Like Robocast. He just talks about like certain game franchises, how they died and stuff. I'm gonna put my 2 cents in on it because I've played a lot of these, like The Sims. I currently do still play that one. I used to play Disney Infinity. I played Lego games, Little Big Planet. Yeah, I played a lot of these. Skylanders, Saints Row, Starbound. Read it online. I played a lot of these, and I just want to like look into the things like how they died and like what happened to these game franchises, and like why they don't feel as fun as they used to, like they did back in the day. So we're gonna kind of look into it a little bit, watch maybe like one or two of these videos, and kind of just put my 2 cents in on it, honestly, and we'll react to some other YouTube videos. I'm gonna be doing this for a little bit, see how it does for me overall. Yeah, we're gonna look into it, see how it does overall for a little bit. But if I'm trying to see what microphone I want to use here.
Trying to see what Okay, we're gonna use that one. I seem like I'm a little loud, but we're gonna just yeah. All right. I think we can start off with the. Trying to see what I want to start off with first. We can start off with what happened to The Sims. We can look at that one.
The flood of back in the
I
day.
watched a little bit of it, but like I just want to go through it a little bit. So I'm gonna put my 2 cents on it, and we'll go from there.
The Sims franchise wasn't just one of the biggest in gaming, it was one of the highest quality. Each release innovated on the last with nothing but the highest of praises. But
Yeah.
along the way, something was lost.
And I remember playing the Sims. Like, okay, like I mainly started with The Sims 3 back in 2013. I remember I was like wake up on like the weekends. I'd go on our PS3 and I'd play The Sims 3 console, and it was fun. But what made that one a little different was it didn't have open world because it was on the console. They had to compromise some stuff. So like the best part of The Sims 3 wasn't even available to me as the player, which sucked, by the way. I mean, I play Sims 3 on PC now, which is a lot better. I'm more of a Sims 2 person, but still, yeah, The Sims. I played a lot of The Sims 4. Like I have over like 300 hours on that. Over 300 hours, like probably like maybe 500 on a console. Sims 4 is just it's not fun anymore. It was at one point, but nowadays it's just I don't get that same charm that I used to with it. Like I used to, a couple years ago. I never get that. I don't get that same charm with The Sims 2 anymore. I mean, Sims 4. I mean, I don't get the same charm.
The edges softened and the soul of the series quietly died, buried under a mountain of low-quality, overpriced DLCs. How did this happen to one of the biggest names in gaming? What's in store for the future of The Sims, and how did the spirit of
At this point, like the franchise is so bloated with like content. Like I can actually prove my point here. I'm gonna show y'all some. If you go to the Steam store, and you look at the Sims 4, like it's crazy. Like all the DLCs combined now cost a total of like I think what probably let me see. Like all the DLCs combined cost like a total of I think like over $1,500 now. I might be wrong about that. It might be like 12. It's over 1,000 for sure, but like, I'm not sure if it's like 1,500 or what. We're about to go to it and see though. Store page. Okay, we're gonna pull this up. I can show it like right here. Like okay, yeah, right here. So if I go here and I go to see all, scroll down. Notice how some of these are on sale. I don't even. I haven't played this game in so long that I don't even know these packs anymore. I don't even look into them. Probably like yeah, they're doing like a Christmas sale. Yeah, like $16 and stuff. But like, yeah, look at that. $1,000 for every single. So for every single DLC for The Sims 4, like all the kits, all the expansion packs, game packs, stuff packs, everything, every single DLC. Now the reason why it's a little cheaper now, because it's not normally that. It's normally way more than that. Like it's like 1,200. Is excuse me. Is mainly just because it's like get some sales going on a lot of this, which is why it's a lot cheaper. But like later, if we look at this when the sale goes away, it's gonna be way more than this. It's just like with what's going on right now, why it costs a little less than normal. But still, even with the sales, it's still $1,000. It just puts it out there like as how it's like extremely expensive.
Of The Sims die. The story of The Sims begins all the way back in 1984, but I'm not here to waste your time, so let's get to the point. A guy named Will Wright co-founded a company in 1987 to publish his experimental game called SimCity.
My dad used to play this. I never played SimCity because I was more of a like my first city building game that I ever played was City Skylines. Back like in 20, I want to say 2020. So yeah, I never played SimCity, and like I have SimCity 3000. But I just got it just to get it, mainly because my dad wanted to play it. I never played it. It seems fun. I just never played it though. I never saw like, mainly just again because like I was already so hooked on City Skylines and I still am, that I just never saw the desire to want to play SimCity.
He saw major success with the first game, leading to a sequel in 1993. His company, Maxis, saw the
Oh,
potential of simulation games and went on to publish a lot of stuff that you've likely never heard of. SimEarth, SimAnt, SimLife, SimFarm, and SimTower. Oh, and SimIsle, SimHealth, SimCopter, I could keep going.
yeah, I
All
never
of
heard
these
of any of
experimental
those.
projects weren't leading to any real successes, and Maxis started to struggle financially. But all of these random games focused on simulating various aspects of complex systems, combined with Wright's interests in reading books on architecture, urban design, and shopping.
Like yeah, like it was very revolutionary. Even SimCity, just because like you were simulating. Because notice how every game he made, you were simulating something. Whether even like those other like Sim Earth, I guess you're like simulating the Earth or something. Simulating ants, simulating, helicopters. Like you were simulating something in every one of his games.
Behavior would lead to his greatest idea yet, one that would go on to revolutionize the entire gaming industry. I'm sure you can guess what happened next. Wrong. Wright excitedly pitched the idea of The Sims to a focus group in 1993, but to his surprise, they absolutely hated the idea.
I don't know how. Like The Sims is like one of those franchises that like it like in terms of video games for me it is taken a good chunk of like my game time like in since I've grown up. I've been playing The Sims since I was 3 years old, so like it's a big deal to me. So like I find that so crazy that like they didn't think that was a good idea.
Within Maxis, the game received quite a few derogatory nicknames, such as the Toilet Game and Dollhouse Game. Many thought it was ridiculous that you could do meaningless tasks like cleaning bathrooms. Nobody thought it would be fun, and it definitely doesn't help that Wright originally pitched the game as a game where you're playing with a dollhouse. Higher-ups were seriously unimpressed with the comparison, which made them think that it would only appeal to girls. And as we all know, girls don't play video games.
I don't know where that like mentality came from of like girls don't play video games. I don't know where that mentality came from. Like when I was like one of the dumbest mentalities. Like yeah, that whole mentality is just really stupid. I never understood that.
The Sims was a joke, and nobody would ever take it seriously. But while they had neglected their golden goose, Maxis's troubles had finally caught up to them. After years of constant flops and low-quality products, the company was on the verge of bankruptcy,
Man,
until EA came in with a generous offer to buy the company in 1997 for
how ironic! The company that is like actively killing The Sims saved it. That is crazy.
$125 million. In a weird twist, EA actually saved Maxis from itself and got it under new management that knew how to do their
That's
jobs. They
crazy.
led the charge to turn SimCity 3000 into one of the most beloved and successful entries
And again, I have this one. I never played it. I never played. I should try it. I've never played this one.
of the franchise, and they were even willing to listen to Will Wright about his new simulation game idea. Not because they loved the game, but because they saw the dollar signs flowing in with all the potential expansions that they could sell for it. Like this one, where you can put clothes on your
This is the dumbest pack. I hate this pack so much. It is so stupid. The fact that you are literally buying, you have to like. What makes it so stupid is the fact that it's a pack for a pack. So like, let's say that you don't have the pets expansion, but you have the My First Pet stuff. It's useless. It's so stupid.
cats and dogs, where you need to buy the cats and dogs DLC in order to actually use it. Or this one that adds vacuums.
And like an idiot, I bought this one too. I bought that pack. It's so like it's so stupid. It's just dumb. It really is.
For $5. This is the current state of The Sims, and I can't wait to dive into that, but let's stick to the
And what's
story.
so sad about The Sims 4 now is like when you even like you can play all the DLCs too, Like, let's say you bought all the DLCs, the game is still boring. The game is just not fun. It's that bad.
EA greenlit The Sims, and work had officially begun on one of the most iconic gaming franchises of all time. But making a game with the goal of simulating an entire world is no small task, and there were quite a few obstacles that Wright and the team needed to figure out. First, it was clear that the game needed a degree of realism, but not so much that it became uncanny or impossible to simulate. It was also important that Sims had some autonomy, but not so much that the game could just play itself. A balance had to be found between keeping things unpredictable while still requiring the player to care for their virtual toddlers. And of course, hundreds of scenarios had to be anticipated, adding even further to the complexity of the game. For example, if a tired sim can't access a bed because they're stuck, then they need to be able to fall asleep sitting. Or if two sims have a conflict, they should be able to argue, apologize, or simply
I have all 4 Sims games. I've never played Sims 1 though. I don't know why. Like I just never have.
avoid each other depending on their personalities. All of this wasn't exactly easy, and compromises would have to be made, but by the time February 4th, 2000 rolled around, The Sims had finally released, and, well, people loved it. The game was praised for its brilliant innovation, and it sold over 11 million copies, making it more successful than every SimCity game combined. It was a novel concept, and being able to play in a sandbox that you could create yourself was absolutely unprecedented at the time.
That is
It had no
insane.
true objectives apart from make Sim not
Yeah,
die,
that's
and
it.
honestly, that part wasn't even required. This open-ended design approach, where you could craft your own world and story, helped the game to appeal massively to casual audiences, including women. The Sims was a first video game for countless individuals, and it redefined what a game could even be. But this was the year 2000, and as ambitious as The Sims was, it still lacked tons of features that we associate with the franchise today. Sims didn't have full life cycles. Kids couldn't become adults,
Oh
adult Sims
yeah.
couldn't become elders, and couldn't even die of old age. The
Mm.
Grim Reaper wouldn't come and claim dead Sims. They just abruptly died and were gone forever. Even small things like weekends didn't exist, so schedules didn't change much. A chunk of these got added in paid expansions for the first game, which there were quite a few of, but it was a very different experience from what you may be familiar with today. This was even more apparent with how strange and brutal the first Sims could be. Like, if a kid's grades fell too low, they got sent to military school, which
The Sims 2 is the same way. But like if that happens to your kid, they get taken and you never see them again.
effectively deleted them from the game. And in the game's Live and Large expansion, if you bought a tragic clown painting, a tragic clown appeared if your sim was depressed. His attempts to cheer them up only made them more miserable, and he could only be removed by burning the painting. There were other
Okay,
things too, like
wow, that's actually creepy. That creeps me out a little bit. I don't like that. Oh, I get chills even thinking about that. Like that's creepy.
the infamous guinea pig disease and nervous breakdowns of famous Sims, but I think you get the picture. It's a very different tone from today's cuddly Sims. On the other hand, the game had a much more personal feel that we don't see today.
But for right now, I'm gonna end the stream here. So I'll catch y'all later. It's just mainly because no one's watching it really. This is just a stream. Like I'm just literally talking to myself, literally.